Some people think like it's a really flashy office like this. By the way, these are actual photos from the work platform. So these are companies that advertise on our site. Is it the nice pool table in the office? That's really culture. I don't think so. I think all this is just decoration. It looks nice, but very interesting though. I had a coffee chat with some of our job seekers that use us yesterday, so we're trying to engage them a bit more. And they said that, yes, they also think that it's kind of decoration, like the office, but it's a very good indication of what kind of culture is in the company. So they know this, even though they know that you could still come into a company like this, and they could still treat you very badly, but it's the first time when they actually walk in for an interview. But again, so that's not culture. Culture is how people behave. That's actually what culture is, or how the majority of people in your company behave and treat, how they think and how they behave. And also how people are expected to behave. So I'll give you a very simple example. For example, if you have a culture where, it's a very simplistic example, right? Where if people are supposed to start at 8:30, but most people turn up 8:45, 9 o'clock, 9:50, no one really cares, then you have a culture where people are kind of partially flexible, they're not stressed out about time, and then they also might stay back also just to get their work done. Or you have a culture where if you're not in by 8:30, you actually have to, you get fined. I've heard that. I've even heard of people locking the door. This is a true story. True story, people lock the door and don't let the people in. So certain industries, they are very strict on like timing and things like you have to be in at this time. It's happened. I've heard of stories where the computer will prompt you if you log in after 8:30. Oh, tell us why you were late. And you have to answer. It's true. It's true. I won't tell which company, but it's true. These things are still out there right now. But it's fine. I mean, that's the culture of the company. So that's how people actually behave or expected to behave. I want to show you two. I hope the audio will play. We had some pause audio earlier. So the two separate interviews that we've done, they are actually on Walk. One is from Magic, and one is from iCar Asia. iCar Asia is also here in this building, so they're advertising using us. I interviewed the CEOs a couple of months ago when we first started the platform, and hear about what they talk about in terms of what culture actually means to them. And you will notice there's a very slight difference between how they view it from a recruitment standpoint. Let's see if it plays. Okay, I have to go and press. What was it playing?
Yeah, it was playing. That's an audio.
Yes. 1% out of 4%. No, we would not hire them. So it is hired by consensus because we want to make sure that every single.
Yeah, so sorry, we had a problem with the audio. I'll try again.
They go through 4 to 5 different people in the company, and you don't get hired until all of them says yes. If 1% out of 4% says no, we would not hire them. So it is hired by consensus because we want to make sure that every single person in the company wants this new person to join the company, and that they fit in the company. So we keep the culture really tight.
Sorry guys, did you hear that? Was that really soft? Okay. Well, I will just summarize it since you didn't really hear it. Cheryl talked a lot about hiring by consensus So the key for her is everyone's interviewing this person, and doesn't matter how good this person is, if we don't think this person fits in, we won't hire the person. So they have a very, I suppose in a way like a clan-like type of culture where people have to fit in with each other. You know, so performance is one thing, but fitting in is the key for her. And let's see if you can hear this.
But is to know that you're going to work with like-minded, ambitious, smart, talented people who want to actually be part of that purpose as well. And everyone learns off each other. When you bring a bunch of very smart people together, then people help them grow their own development in that as well. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the smartest and best people that want to be part of that purpose, be part of that vision, to come together and help that become a reality.
Right, so this is the CEO of iCar Asia, and he talks a lot about a high performance type of environment. So they focus a lot on that, like really high. We want to hire the best people out there, and we believe that having the best people help us attract other good people to join us. So as a culture, that's what they focus on a lot. And there's a small distinction. So obviously everyone wants high performing people and also people who fit in, but which do you kind of emphasize a little bit more in your company as a culture? So, is there a good and bad culture? I'm actually going to answer this question twice, and I probably see the second time I answer it will be better. But right now, personally, I
One of the ways we test for this is a lot of our candidates actually are from out of town. And so we'll pick them up from the airport in Zappos shuttle, give them a tour, and then they'll spend the entire day interviewing. Well, at the end of the day of interviews, the recruiter will circle back with the shuttle driver and ask how they were treated. And it doesn't matter how well the day of interviews went. If they didn't treat the shuttle driver well, then we won't hire them. It's not even a question.
Sorry? How's the video called?
What's the video?
What's the definition of art culture into 10?
If you just Google Tony Hsieh from Zappos and search values, you can probably find a lot of it on YouTube, actually. I didn't realize you can't see the top thing, but okay, these are Zappos core values anyway. For those of you who couldn't hear that, the most interesting thing about that conversation was one of the values that they want people to have is be humble. Right? So it doesn't matter how good you are, if they don't think you're a humble person, they won't hire you. But how do they test for that? I think earlier this morning we have, there was a lot of talk about how to structure interview questions and things like that. But also what they did was, instead of just asking the question, when they pick up people from the airport, in the bus to bring them to the office, after an entire day of interviews, to go back and ask the driver, how did this person treat you? And based on what feedback they get, they will know whether this is a humble person or not. So there are lots of ways you can kind of devise to see whether this person fits your values. These are some of our ops values. Now this keeps changing, by the way, because we're still very young. They literally just saw me write something just now on the table. But as we grow as a business, we are developing values that we really care. Like when I look at the people there, I want to see, do they actually display this value? So I'll give you an example. Be a giver and not a taker, because I find that if you're in an environment where people give to each other and don't expect anything in return, they just know that they will receive that because everyone's just giving to each other and no one's drawing lines, then you have amazing teamwork in the team. When someone starts drawing us, that's not my work, this is not what I'm supposed to do, then everyone starts drawing lines. So we want a culture of collaboration. So that's what I said. Learning from mistakes, and also like Rojan, when she first joined, I want to emphasize just this one. Do before you get asked.